Hello, welcome to Video Mania 2. I'm the dude manning the counter, Duncan, and today I have an exciting new physical media release to talk about. It's from the Paramount Presents line, and it is a film from 1997 that is finally getting its due in a high-definition transfer. It is Breakdown, starring Kurt Russell, Kathleen Quinlan, J.T. Walsh, M.C. Gainey, and Jack Noseworthy. It was directed by Jonathan Mostow, and he went on to do U-571 and Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. But I think this is his best film. And this movie came out in the 90s when there were so many over-the-top action movies and stuff. And this one's more of a thriller, but the characters are so relatable, and the premise is plausible and kind of frightening. So it has a little bit of, horror to an extent. It's not supernatural by any means, but, it's just really, really good. And so I'm going to dive into the movie and the transfer and the sound and all that. So the movie itself, Kurt Russell plays a guy named Jeff Taylor. Kathleen Quinlan plays his wife, Amy. And they are moving from Massachusetts. They picked up all their things, and they got this new Jeep Cherokee, and they're driving across country to San Diego to start new careers. And they're a little bit of an older couple, more mature. They're not old, but they're packing up and kind of starting over. And they're in the West. It looks like Badlands area, kind of desert and mountains. Very beautiful in this new transfer, by the way. And so their Jeep breaks down, and they're like, no. And what happens next is the truck driver comes by and offers to help them. And this was in 97, so cell phones weren't as universal. So, he had a cell phone. It was like one of these giant flip phones. And so, of course, it didn't work out in the boonies. So, he couldn't make a call. So, the truck driver offers to help him. They push the Jeep over to the side, and they agree to separate. His wife's like, I'm going to go to the next truck stop. You can stay with the vehicle, and I'll get some help. And so she goes with the truck driver, and little does he know, he's about to jump into it. And the thing is he gets the Jeep restarted. He goes to the truck stop at the diner where they agreed to meet, and no one's seen his wife. He's like, we agreed to meet here. Maybe she went back. What's going on? He can't find her. And then he finds the truck driver again, and the truck driver's like, I don't know who or what you're talking about. And now he starts to doubt his own sanity. He's like, no, this is what happened. And, he starts to lose it here a little bit. And so as the plot goes along, I don't want to give too much away, but it's just a great thriller. It ends with some great action set pieces. But the thing that really drew me to this back then even is, with some of the more over-the-top action movies, which I love, by the way, you always hear now, and they're like, this character is vulnerable and more relatable and all that stuff, that all these catchphrases they use for movies now. Jeff Taylor's character, played by Kurt Russell, this is his best performance, I thought, of his career, too, is when he first starts out, he has like a, one of those things that's another relatable part is like somebody pulls in front of him and cuts him off, and they almost have a collision at the gas station. They kind of talk about it a little bit, not the friendliest way. And Jeff Taylor, Kurt Russell, in the past he played like in Tango and Cash, he was a badass, doing badass things with a smile on his face, making it look easy. And, Snake Plissken obviously was a badass. And here Kurt Russell is just kind of a mid-level career guy. And, when he has that conversation, he's like, look, I don't want any trouble. Let's just forget about it. No big deal. I'm sorry it happened. And, you relay that, like, he doesn't want confrontation. He doesn't want to get in a fight, and he just wants to forget about it. He's a more passive guy. But then after all the things I talked about earlier, it's cool to watch Kurt Russell's transformation, because he went from frantic and scared, and the more he uncovers and the deeper he gets into this, it's more of a guy that really didn't want to do this, but he's just being resourceful and, resiliency more than, just a guy out for revenge or, he's out to solve something. I mean, here it's just a guy, an average dude that's just thrown in this crazy situation, and he just has to be resourceful, and he's not, he doesn't have all these great skills or anything. It's just all grit and determination. So that was very relatable, and that's what made this movie stand out to me a lot. And like I said before, Kurt Russell is great. I mean, you really believe he's this frantic guy looking for his wife. He just wants to find out what happened to his wife. And so, the direction by Jonathan Mostow is very good. The cinematography is great. This is all very top-notch. Now, the release itself is really good, too. I was really excited when this was announced. I'm really starting to like the Paramount Presents line a lot. It has new artwork, and this is the older artwork that I have on this, the old VHS. So this is certainly an upgrade for me, for sure. Now, Paramount put a lot of love and care into this. I mean, they did a 4K scan, a new transfer, and it looks really good. And it's still, the Badlands, that all really pops more now. But the thing I did like is I've talked about this before on other physical media releases. It's not glossed over or overdone. It's still a very natural looking, it looks like it was shot around 96, 97. So it looks very good. And inside you have more different artwork. And there's some more things here. So take that off for you. Just lots of different stuff, as you can see there. But I really like the artwork Paramount Presents does with this. Now, the sound as well is very good. The score by Basil Polidoris. He was my favorite composer. He did Conan the Barbarian, RoboCop, and he was real adept here because this didn't have this big bombastic score. It was more just drums, and it picked up, and more heights of tension, and then it would go back down. It was just very eerie at times, and then powerful when it needed to be. It was just really, really good. So this movie is a 90s classic. In my opinion, I absolutely love it. Everyone I've shown it to has always liked it. So I'm really happy it's getting its due. Paramount Presents, I'm really glad they have such an extensive catalog. I hope they continue with this. So it's a must for any collector to get. So let me know in the comments below what you thought of Breakdown. Are you willing to take a look at it? Do you think it's Kurt Russell's best performance ever? I'd like to hear your opinions on all that. So let me know in the comments. And if you like older movies, leave me a like. Subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. There's so many forgotten treasures out there, and this is a good way to discover them. So anyway, I appreciate the support, and I'll see you next time.